Hey guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. I know my voice sounds somehow, I don't know, but it's just deep this morning, like sounding so deep, like a guy's voice. Anyways, I don't know, but just listen to it like that. So, guys, yesterday, which was the 27th of February 2020, yeah. So, I went out with a friend at her to, visit the city center of Dublin and, take beautiful pictures and photos of the city, what it looks like, so that I can share it here with you guys, just explore the city. However, we were met with a protest, like a protest. So we got to the city center and then we tried walking around and we realized that there was protest at different points at the city center. There were different protest points and like they were massive, huge protests and it was crazy. And I'm like, what is happening here? So the first protest we met, one of the first point we actually met. So we were just coming out from a street. I can't really tell because that's the first time of going to the city center. And then we met this huge number of people coming our way. I was like, what the heck is happening here? Why are they in such a large number? And 99.999% of them were without face mask or anything. I was like, what the heck is happening here? Why are people in this huge number coming this way and all that? And I'm like, Ata, we have to live here right now. We can't afford to be, overwhelmed by this population that is coming. And so we're like, we're still trying to dance. I think someone now mentioned that it's a protest. We're like, oh my God.
Okay, so they're shouting because the police are gone. This is serious.
Like this one was massive, huge, and they were coming in their numbers. And I was like, we don't know why they are protesting, what is actually happening, and these people are without face mask and whatever. We have to leave here right now. And so we left to a different point. We had to hurriedly, because they were in a huge number, they were walking so fast. So we had to hurriedly leave the point we were, because that was the location they were coming to move to a different direction, because obviously they were going to be overwhelming us. We didn't know what the protest was all about. We didn't even know what was happening. Like, when you are lost in the middle of something, like there's somewhat like a chaos and you don't know why that is happening. Anyways, at that point when I realized, I was like, these people without face mask and all that, what are they actually protesting? What was actually the basis of their protest? Like, I need to understand why they are protesting, because of course, like, you can't we didn't really know what was happening and we were just lost. We just saw people, a bunch of people moving, and then, you know, we didn't even know about anything until somebody told us that okay, it was a protest, and we're like, we need to find out what's actually happening, because if anything goes wrong, like, why are you here? We're like, they're protesting. Okay, why are they protesting? And we don't actually know what the protest is all about. And so we decided to move to a different part of the city, continue what we're doing, the shooting we're doing, and then we met another huge protest. That was the second location. And so this one, they gathered at a particular point, and it was massive. Like, if you see the huge number of people.
Okay, so they said RTE is the propaganda of the government. That's what's written on the sign they are carrying.
RTE is what?
RTE is the propaganda of the government. It's written on the sign, that white this
Sign
thing.
there.
So
Majority were without face mask or anything. So we're like, what's actually happening? Do you know that kind of sort? We're like, what is actually happening? And so when I took a closer shot at what was happening there, and then I saw one of the placard that was held up. It reads, RTE is the propaganda of the government. And I even became more confused. I'm like, okay, wait. At this point, and I'm like, what is RTE? Because obviously, like, I'm new here in Dublin and I didn't know anything, and I was quite confused. I'm like, okay, what's RTE? And it became more confusing, and I didn't really know what RTE is. And I asked Ata too was equally confused.
See see as their police stand here.
Yeah, no,
They look there.
you can't.
Nigeria, they don't keep person already.
So at this point, we're like, let's just continue with what we're doing, because we couldn't really understand what was happening and we couldn't really ask anybody like what was going on. And okay, at the point, I heard the speaker they carried, because I saw one that was a recorded this thing. It was recorded and then they put speaker in order for it to be loud and that kind of something. And I started hearing them mention God and blah blah blah. Yet I didn't really get the content of it. I'm like, let's just go. Anyway, so we decided to go on with our shoots, continue the tour of the city, and then we were just going. At the point, we got to a particular point where we were supposed to pass through, and there was this large number of policemen, and they just covered a certain route or road or whatever. They just covered a large number of policemen. I'm like, what is happening here and all that. And so we discovered that that the protesters were supposed to come that way, and so the police is trying to, protect the place, ensure that they don't go across that way and all that.
What? That way is blocked. Are the people protesting coming?
Yeah, they plan to come here. That's why they're stopping.
Oh. So the police will just go there and go and lock now. So they're doing prevention is better than cure.
Yeah, I just people not coming.
So people don't already the
I've never seen this much gather in one place before.
Just for no reason, they're just literally standing there. Just like, no. They're just
So we actually managed to just pass the police and equally continued what we're doing, because we couldn't still understand what was actually happening. So we sent a message to one of his colleagues who's an American, and the guy was around the protest there, so like around where we were. So we asked like, okay, can we see you, so that I could try to understand, because he seemed to know more about the protests and stuff like that. And so he came closer to where we are, and then he explained what RTE meant, and tried to give us an overview of like what the entire like protest was all about and all that. So we actually walked and we went further, and we met a third protest ground. And well, as we're just coming there, that was when they actually just ended their own protest. There was this guy that was just preaching there. Not like he was preaching, he was not preaching, but he was talking, and then he would bring in God into what he was saying, and those type of conversations and all that. And it was really crazy. It was at this point I now understood what they were protesting about. It was at this point that I understood what we were protesting about, because I had to listen to what the guy was saying. And he was like, he made some comments like, our hospitals and hospice has become, what they call it, has become like a prison. Is it hospice? I mean, hospice, however they pronounce it, but like old people's home. Yeah, so both hospital and old people's home has become like prisons. Like people don't go out, blah 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 blah, and things like that about COVID. So generally, the protest was about COVID. It was about COVID. It was about the lockdown. They didn't want lockdown anymore. They didn't want the idea of face mask. Oh, the man that was speaking at this point now was like, if you don't wear a face mask, you're not affecting anybody, nothing is happening, and blah 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 blah. That COVID is was an attempt, or is rather an attempt to depopulate the world, and blah 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 blah, and things like that. If you don't wear a face mask, you're not affecting anybody, that the government this, the government that, and a whole lot of those talk. You know what it's all about, all those talks. And I couldn't really understand, like, they don't want lockdown again, everything should be open, let life go back to normal, and it was really huge. And so that was like basically what they were protesting against. Like, they didn't want the lockdown, they want life to return as normal, and the vaccine, the man was talking about the vaccine, nobody should take any vaccine, that they're asking people to take vaccine, stuff like that, like even common cold, have they been able to cure it? Now they're bringing about vaccine, there is an attempt to depopulate the world, and blah 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 blah, and a whole lot of that. Like, it was so much. The guy was talking, it was at this point and I understood why they were protesting and things like that. Well, we actually arrived late when they finished, but then the guy was just still talking.
Man, he looks like a bird. You know, maybe it's like a white people American thing, but it's like old people, they have cameras and they have the binoculars.
Okay, so right now roads are being closed down by the police. So even this they are real, be train something, tram, yeah, has been stopped. And yeah, this other one to come in from behind would also stop, and no cars moving again because of the protest, so they've closed down everywhere.
Anyways, this was just a summary of what we're faced with yesterday, while I myself and Atam went out to have a shoot of the city. Like, it was crazy already. When coming into a middle of something, like, you just find yourself in the middle of protest, you don't know why they're protesting. So funny situation, funny scenario. Like, it was really crazy, and we're like, we have to leave here, we don't know why they're protesting, and if anything goes wrong, like, we don't know what is happening, and we need to move out from here and at least understand why they're protesting. So anyways, that's just basically it. Anyways, even with the whole the whole wahala and all that, we're able to have nice shoots of the city, like beautiful shots, and really it was really nice. And yeah, that video will be coming up in no time. Really nice to have nice shots of the city. It really made sense, and trust me, the Dublin city is beautiful. And yeah, you're going to be seeing video of it. It will be coming up in no time. Maybe not the video after, would it be the video after this one, or yeah, in the two videos after this? Yeah, you're going to see it after this. There will be a different video together than before that. So yeah, you're going to see it, and it would really make sense, trust me. Okay guys, thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around, thank you for always subscribing to my channel. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead right now and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, my name is Jennifer, and I'm currently in Dublin. I'm an Erasmus Mundus 2020 scholar from Nigeria. I make videos on Erasmus Mundus scholarship applications. I make video on travel while I'm traveling different countries. I make videos about those countries. I usually make videos about life abroad and what it consists, and blah 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 blah, different cultures and all that. So thank you guys. Please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.